Have you ever finished a book and just wished that you could erase your memory and experience it for the first time again? Well, today I'm going to share the 10 books that I would seriously consider selling my soul in order to read for the first time again. Because the emotions, the twists, and the sheer magic of these stories were just incredible, and I'd love to experience them again. If you're new here, hi, my name's Kate, and welcome to my bookish corner of the internet. Let's dive into today's video. I just want to preface this that I'm not going to go into the plot of the books in this video just because I don't want to spoil anything, because these are books, like the title says, you need to go in for the first time reading it if you have not. Now, I was going to say that these are in no particular order, but I actually think they are in order of when I read them, from oldest to newest, but let's jump in. The first one is the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I need to be able to read these books for the first time again. I think when I first read them, I was about 10 and I read them as they were published. I remember them taking so long in between each book to come out. So as a 10-year-old, I kind of just lost interest. So it wasn't until I was an adult that I actually reread the stories. And I actually kind of got to experience it for the first time because I understood so much more. Particularly the 7th, the 4th, and the 3rd, I guess. Those are the books that if I could read them again for the first time without knowing what was happening, I would be complete. I love watching others experience the books for the first time, and I'm constantly trying to convince people that have only watched the movies to read the books, and they never regret it. Even people that are not readers, they love these books. Now, some books don't tell a story, they make you feel it. My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult is one of those books. This book wrecked me emotionally. If you read it, you'll know why. The moral dilemmas, the family drama, the impossible choices. Every page had me questioning what I would do in that situation. And there's just no right answer. And then that twist at the end, not the movie twist, but the book twist. I wish I could erase my memory just to experience that shock and heartbreak all over again. If you haven't read My Sister's Keeper yet, be prepared, you will need tissues. Now, this next book was a master class in psychological thrillers. I'm talking about Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. The first time I read it, I was completely fooled. Every twist on every unreliable narrator, every shocking moment had me gasping. And let's talk about that midpoint twist. If you know, you know. It was probably the first book that I read with a twist like that, so my inexperienced reader brain just was shocked. I wish I could go back and experience that mind-blowing twist with fresh eyes. If you haven't read Gone Girl yet, I envy you, and you are in for a wild ride. This next book was pretty mesmerizing. It's a mix of historical fiction, family secrets, and a twist that took me by surprise. This book isn't mentioned online very much, but I know I have in my past videos. It's The Secret Keeper by Kate Morton. The dual timelines kept me hooked, and I loved unraveling the mystery alongside the characters. And that ending, I did not see it coming. I've read others with similar twists at the end, but this was the first one with this type of plot, and wow. If I could erase my memory and experience that reveal again, I definitely would. The next book shattered my expectations. I'm talking about I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh. I went into it thinking I knew exactly what was happening, and I was thinking I was going to guess the end. But then, bam, the twist hit. And I had to rethink everything so far. It's one of the most brilliantly executed plot twists I've ever read, and I wish I could go back and reread it again without knowing what was coming. If you love psychological thrillers, this one is a must-read. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll also see that I've mentioned this one before. It's Wish You Were Here by Jodi Picoult, another Jodi Picoult one. This book took me on an unexpected journey. What started as a woman stranded on the Galapagos Island during a pandemic turned into something so much deeper, and the twist, again, couldn't see it coming. I was not prepared. It completely changed how I viewed that entire book. I'd love to experience it again. If you haven't read this one, definitely go in blind. You won't regret it. The next one was my first Frida McFadden book I read, and of course I'm talking about The Housemaid. The book had me hooked from page one. The hatred I felt towards the one character was palpable. And then the rug got pulled out from under me. I had no clue what was going on. For me, it was similar to The Gone Girl. I just did not see it coming. I would love to experience that again. Now, while we're talking about Frida McFadden, I'm going to also mention Never Lie. This book was wild from start to finish. The eerie setting out in the middle of nowhere in the storm. Feeling that something was kind of off the whole time. And like the slow unraveling of the secrets. It just kept me on edge the whole time. But then, again, that twist. I remember sitting there staring at the page like completely mind blown. If I could experience that shocking moment again, I absolutely would. Next, if you want a gripping, edge of your seat thriller, Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh is definitely the way to go. The way Steve Kavanaugh builds tension and keeps you questioning everyone. Every character is just brilliant. He had my attention from the very first page. Like that very first scene, I was hooked. I would love to experience that roller coaster of emotions and shocking twists all over again without knowing what was coming next. Again, the whole point of this video. I just wish I didn't know what was coming. And finally, our last book, Riley Sager has a knack for writing suspenseful, twist-filled thrillers. And the only one left is no exception, and that's probably the one with the most twists. This one had me at the edge of my seat the entire time. The haunting mystery surrounding the characters. The tension just kept building and building. And then that twist, and then he twisted it all again. I would love to go back and reread that book. It's just something I would love to do. And that's it. Those are the 10 books I'd love to read again for the first time. Each one of them left a lasting impression on me. Can't help but wish I could relive that first experience again. Now I want to hear from you. What books would you love to just forget so you could experience them again? Drop your pics in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another video from me. And I'll see you in the next one. Happy reading!